Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we have my Week 2 college football predictions. So last week, I had one of my best weeks ever predicting college football, and I went 21-1. So starting off this week with Arkansas at Ohio State. This should be a really easy big blowout for Ohio State. They are going to be without superstar wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba due to a hamstring injury, but their wide receiver room is so deep that it really doesn't matter. So Ohio State should make a statement here, dominating, winning 62-3. Next, we have Southern Miss against Miami. So this is a big game for Miami. They have a chance to keep their strong performances going before they go face Texas A&M on the road. I expect them to be able to put up some points. Last week they scored 70. I don't think they're going to hit 70 again, but I think they're going to score 45. And I have Miami with the win, easily 45-3. Next, we have South Carolina visiting Arkansas. So I feel like this could be a pretty good game. You have a Spencer Rattler-led South Carolina team against Arkansas. I don't think we're going to see an upset, but I do think we're going to see a pretty competitive game. But I do have Arkansas getting the win at home with their second good win in a row after defeating Cincinnati last week. Arkansas 31-23. Next, we have Wake Forest visiting Vanderbilt. So the big story of this game is the return of Sam Hartman for Wake Forest, who missed Week 1 with an undisclosed injury and in August was ruled out indefinitely. But Vanderbilt looks a lot better. They went 2-0 so far this season. But they still shouldn't really be a match for Wake Forest. Wake Forest should easily get the win here, 48-13. Next, we have Charleston Southern visiting NC State. So NC State needs a good statement win here. They had a not-so-great game last week against ECU. In a game they should have lost because the East Carolina kicker missed a game-winning field goal and a game-tying extra point. But Charleston Southern is the perfect opponent for NC State at the moment. I have them getting a big bounce-back week and a big win, 38-3. Next, we have Alabama going on the road to play Texas. So this is going to be a good game. Alabama's coming off a beatdown of Utah State, 55-0. And Texas is an improved team with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. But I still think Texas is far away from competing with Alabama. And Alabama will get the easy win on the road, 42-24. Next, we have Southern Utah visiting Utah. So Utah's coming off a disappointing loss to Florida on the road. But their home opener, they have an FCS opponent in Southern Utah. And they should have a good bounce-back week as they should defeat Southern Utah 48-7. Next, we have Notre Dame hosting Marshall. So Notre Dame is coming off a loss against Ohio State in the season opener. And now in their home opener against Marshall, they're looking for a statement win. And I think they're going to get exactly that. They're going to have a big win over a Marshall team. And yes, they destroyed Norfolk State last week, but I mean, it's Norfolk State. Notre Dame gets the huge win, winning 56-3. Next, we have another easy game, and that is Furman visiting Clemson. So Clemson's playing on a short week after playing on Monday. But I really don't think that's going to impact them all that much because they're playing Furman. I think Clemson's defense is going to dominate. And the offense is also going to be pretty good, putting up 42 points in the shutout of Furman, 42-0. I have Clemson getting the victory. Next, we have Appalachian State at Texas A&M. So this is going to be a great game. App State and North Carolina had a game that was super entertaining last week. I don't think we're going to see over 120 points scored again, combined. But I do think it's going to be a very good and entertaining game. I do have Texas A&M getting the win at home. I think Appalachian State could get the win if they were at home, but because Texas A&M is hosting this game, I have Texas A&M 31-21. Next, we have Tennessee at Pitt. So this is a pretty tough game to predict. I could easily see this game going either way. So Pitt is coming off a victory over West Virginia in the backyard brawl, and Tennessee beat Ball State easily. Keaton Slovis looked pretty good in his Pitt debut. I really like the Tennessee offense this season, led by Hendon Hooker. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think both offenses are going to score points, but I have Tennessee in the victory. In the end, getting the win, 41-38. Next, we have Washington State at Wisconsin. So Washington State barely beat Iowa last week, and Wisconsin easily beat an FCS opponent, Illinois State. They had a great rushing attack led by Braylon Allen. And I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. But I think Wisconsin will get the win 24-14. Next, we have Samford against Georgia. So, if Georgia beat Oregon 49-3 last week, what the heck are they going to do to Samford? They could easily win this game. They could do it in their sleep. Georgia should dominate every aspect of this game, and they're going to get the massive win 63-0. Next, we have Akron at Michigan State. So, Michigan State had a good opening win last week over Western Michigan, and now they face Akron. This should be another easy win for Michigan State. At home, I have them improving to 2-0 on the season, defeating Akron 48-9. Next, we have Houston at Texas Tech. So, Houston with another in-state test early this season. Last week, they played a triple overtime game against UTSA that they ended up winning. This time, they faced a Power 5 opponent in Texas Tech. I think Houston will get the win. I think it's going to be another exciting in-state game, with Houston getting the win at 31-30. Next, we have Kent State visiting Oklahoma. So, Oklahoma had a great start to the season, defeating UTEP. Dylan Gabriel looked good, and now he's going up against a secondary that allowed almost 400 passing yards last week. Oklahoma should easily win this one 49-13. Next, we have Ole Miss hosting Central Arkansas. So, this is another really easy game to predict. It's Ole Miss by a mile. Central Arkansas is a FCS team that hasn't been great. Ole Miss should get the easy win 55-10. Next, we have USC visiting Stanford. So when you look at these two teams on paper, Stanford really isn't great. USC is pretty good. But Stanford has given USC trouble recently. In fact, they beat them last year. But I think USC is going to get the win on the road, and I do think it will be pretty close. I have USC defeating Stanford by a touchdown at 35-28. Next, we have Kentucky visiting Florida. So, I think this is probably going to be the best game of the week. It's going to be a great competitive game. I have Florida getting the win, coming off a huge win over Utah, where quarterback Anthony Richardson looked great. Kentucky upset Florida last year, but that was in Kentucky. This time, it's in the Swamp. Kentucky's also without star running back Chris Rodriguez, so Florida has the advantage there. I think it's going to be a close, entertaining game between two SEC East rivals, but Florida ends up getting a very close, entertaining win, 31-27. Next, we have Arizona State against Oklahoma State. This could be a close game, but I really don't think it's going to be that close. Arizona State's got Emory Jones at quarterback, who's a dual-threat quarterback and is pretty good, but I think Spencer Sanders, the Oklahoma State quarterback, is just a better overall quarterback, passing, rushing. So I have Oklahoma State getting the win at 35-20. Moving on, we have Michigan hosting Hawaii. So J.J. McCarthy will start this game for Michigan. They still have an ongoing quarterback battle. But this shouldn't really be much of a match for Michigan, as Hawaii is terrible. They lost to Vanderbilt 63-10. But I have Michigan with the win 55-3. And the final game of the week, we have Baylor at BYU. This is another really good game. I think this will be a highly entertaining game. Baylor got the win last year. I think both teams are going to have great seasons again. I have Baylor defeating BYU, as BYU is without their top two wide receivers due to injuries. So Baylor defeats BYU in a highly entertaining game. Baylor gets the win on the road 33-30. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if you agree with my predictions, disagree with, and why. If there's a game you disagree with, let me know in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I do my best to post as often as possible. And I will see you in the next video.